Peace, peace, peace. I'm Rami Salam El, and I thank you for joining us. It's not by accident. It's not by happenstance. You just randomly click on this video. The universe, stars align, and everything worked up exactly as it was supposed to for you to be watching this video right now. And I thank you. But enough of that. Let's get to the work. I got to do the board real quick. I got to put some things up there. You kick back, watch this video, grab you some water, some juice, some real juice, not that purple drink, you feel me? And here we go, come back, we're going to get right into it.
I'm a freedom fighter, Dalai Lama from a weed supplier. I'm Muhammad to the rap game, that's my last name. My first should be Elijah, and I need a choir. Frequent flyer, gold medallion, Jesus peace. I'm the one, the real Jesus Maya, cause I'm trying to get niggas to lead the street. And I don't need to be, cause I can easily speak to these niggas through the frequencies to compete with me. You gon' need a priest to preach your sweetest needs, to give a hell of an Easter speech. I keep the heat right there underneath the seat. Got pulled over by the police this week. They asked me why I got this fully loaded piece with me. I say, officer, I'm just trying to make it home peacefully. So I'm riding with a rifle, another iron in the Bible. Call my niggas out in Paris, have them climb up the Eiffel. We don't give a fuck, cause it's all about survival. When you caught up in the cycle, when you feel like you're entitled to more than what you get in it, to turn you homicidal. Y'all know that I'm the best, but I swear y'all in denial. And they don't wanna say it, cause I'm better than they idol. Got the mind of a disciple when I'm rocking the revival. But I'm soon to be the king, fuck you and your team. Bada boom, bada bing. If you don't like the way I rule my regime, let them up before June, nigga spring. I'm Desmond Tutu, mixed with the Zeus of the Zulus. I'm the leader of the new school. Man, I swear I'm starting to feel like Mandela Nelson. I want my troops to feel like Nelson. All these niggas wanna kill Nelson. Y'all gon' make me do 20 years like Nelson. Man, I'm starting to feel like Nelson Mandela. 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 Side high. Nelson Mandela. Yeah, Nelson Mandela. Get to know your ancestors. Can't tell me they ain't jealous of a 7-gram seller. It was something about Mary, nigga. I was Ben Stella. Now the fans fan mail us all the way from Manchester. Can't tell her shit if you ain't never spent time trying to sell a nigga just to get the car with the trunk in the front. Shout it, that's an elephant. Intelligent nigga with hella sense. Speak with such eloquence. Ever since I've been on a regiment, niggas been upset with Prince, but let them vent while I start a revolution. Seem like when you work hard, you never get your retribution. Niggas sending threats, but I keep something with me. Sound like dooku 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 when I'm shooting. The same ones that was singing Huey Newton. Prince to a king, you don't see the evolution. 20 years in the pen, man, that's really execution. So I encourage each and every student to stay in school, play it cool, obey the rules, or pay your dues, make a move, take a tool, or write some raps, make a mixtape with Clue. And you could be dope as me, April Fool boy. Trying to get 40 acres in the mule boy. Rhyme with 40 acres in the two-door. I feel like Lorenz Tate in the pool hall. Right before Terrence Howard at the Newport. I
Peace, peace, peace. All right, we back. You see, got some words on the board. We got African, Black, Colored, and Negro. We're going to be looking at what these words mean in law, not what we mean personally, not what we mean metaphysically, not what we mean culturally, not what we mean just within our people, but what these words mean in law. And it's because this helps us understand how we're being discriminated against, like how it actually works. You know, we know that we're being oppressed. We know that we're being treated like three-fifths of a human being. But there's some mechanics to how this is actually happening, how this is working in law, and how people are able to get away with it. So I hope that after we look at these words, we'll have a better understanding of why the words we use to describe ourselves is very important. And we have to be more careful of how we describe ourselves. But enough of that. Let's get right into it. And by the way, I film these at my kitchen table, so it's not the most ideal place to teach, but just work with me. We're gonna get on how we're gonna get to the bottom of all this is using a law dictionary. I mean, if you want to know what words mean, it's a good idea to look them up in a dictionary. And if we want to know what words mean in law, good idea to look it up in a law dictionary. You know what I mean? And before we even get to the words, I just wanted to read this small piece in the preface. The Black's Law Dictionary has proven its value through the years to the busy practitioner, judge, and law student who acquires quick and convenient access to the meanings of legal terms and phrases found in statutes or judicial opinions, as well as to the special legal meanings of standard English words. Meanings which frequently cannot be found in the ordinary English language dictionaries. All right, enough playing. Let's get right to it. The first word we're gonna get to is African, and it's not just a plain definition of African. But we close with African descent. I wish I would have got the pages together. It's all good. Boom. African descent on page 83. Persons of African nativity or of African descent within the meaning of the Naturalization Act are members of the Negro races of Africa or their descendants by intermixture with races constituting free white persons. The Negro races referred to being those from which the emancipated slaves in the United States descend. So, it's a whole lot in there, but to break it down, essentially, Africans, people that identify as African or of African descent, are members of the Negro races or their descendants by intermixture between quote-unquote free white persons and Negro races or emancipated slaves. So, we see that African is connected in law, now this is in law, to Negro. And maybe, just maybe, that's why people from Africa don't like to be called or identify themselves as African, but they identify themselves by their nation, such as Nigerian, Kenyan, etc. Now let's go to. We'll go to black. We're gonna get to Negro, but we're gonna go to black first. Black, boom, and just plain black isn't in here, but black persons is. Black person, page 214. That's a 7. Black person occurring in Constitution and laws, very clear, in Constitution and laws, black person must be taken in its generic sense as contradistinguished from white. It must be taken as contradistinguished from white. And contradistinguished is spelled CONTRADISTINGUISHED. Contradistinguished. distinguished. And you could look that up, but essentially it just means opposite. So we know that black person incurring in constitutional laws must be taken as the opposite of white. Got that? Cool. And matter of fact, it's not on the board, but we're going to look up white real quick just so we can have it as a little reference. But it's clear. You do have some clarity that, oh, here we go, white persons, 1769 on the page. As used in the Naturalization Act, is members of the white or Caucasian race as distinct from the black, red, yellow, and brown races. In the legislation of the slave period, persons without admixture of colored blood, whatever the actual complexion might be. Wow. So a white person in legislation of the quote-unquote slave period are persons without the admixture, without the mixture of colored blood, whatever the actual complexion may be. So whatever their complexion is, if they don't have colored blood, they're considered to be white. And white is taken as the opposite of black. Cool? All right. So let's go to colored now. Let's go to colored. You know, well, white ain't on there, but white is the opposite of black, but it doesn't have any colored blood. No mixture of colored blood. Ain't that something? Colored. And another, I didn't put it up there, but colored is also persons or people of color. That's also connected. So understand when you hear colored, that I'm also connecting it to people of color. Color. See, I should have been prepared. Colored. All right. Colored is on page 332. By common usage in America, this term, in such phrases as colored persons, the colored race, colored man, and the like, people of color, for example, is used to designate negroes or persons of the African race, including all persons of mixed blood descended from Negro ancestry. Let me read that one more time. By common uses in America, this term is used to designate Negroes or persons of the African race. So, colored is connected to African. And Negro. Now, do you see what's going on here? Whether you call yourself African or colored, it's linking you back to Negro. And understand when you say white, you're saying you're the opposite. You don't have any colored blood. You don't have any African blood. You don't have any Negro blood. And black is the opposite of white. So black definitely has colored or Negro blood. So we might as well just go ahead and put that right there. Boom. And we'll put that right there. Boom. Let me just double check. One second. And now let's go to, when I looked up African, black, and colored, let's go look up the key Negro, because it seems like a lot of stuff is pointing to Negro. Let's see what Negro means. Here we go. Negro. Page 1188. The word Negro means a black man, one descended from the African race. let me just start that over because I don't know if you heard me. So let me just Negro. This is page 1188 from Black's Law Dictionary, 4th edition. The word Negro means a black man, one descended from the African race, and does not commonly include a mulatto. But the laws of the different states are not uniform in this respect, some including the description Negro, one who has 1/8 or more of African blood. The term Negro means necessarily person of color, but not every person of color is a Negro. Interesting, like a white person, because that's a color, technically whatever color, but that a white person doesn't necessarily mean a Negro, but a Negro means a person of color. So Negro is connected to colored. Oh, matter of fact, we don't even have to do that one because that's up there. So we just put this right here. Boom. So Negro is connected to colored, Negro is connected to black, and Negro is connected to African. In law, mind you, in law. Now, what do you see? Whether you call yourself African, black, a person of color, it's all connected to Negro. It's all the same in law. And I don't have to look in this dictionary, but we know in history that Negroes are known as slaves, or enslaved to be proper. So all of these terms in law essentially equal do you get it? This is why what we call ourselves is very important. See, we don't know what these words, we think we know what these words mean, but we don't truly know what they mean in law, most of us. And the people that are experts in laws, the judges, the attorneys, certain police, quote-unquote, officers, they know. Yes, this is part of the game. This is part of the scheme. This is part of the hustle. Once again, African, black, colored, all connected to Negro. All of these are synonymous, Negro. And Negro synonymous with slaves, especially in the United States. So, when you hear a Moor, a Moorish American, when you hear me or anybody say, don't call yourself black, you're not a Negro, you're not a person of color, you're not even, quote unquote, African, there's a particular reason that we're saying that. Not that we're not saying that we're not connected to the land we call Africa, but we're not trying to use the term African because African is connected to, which is connected to. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm going to clean this off. We're going to go to another video, and we'll be back to close it up. Cool. Goddamn.
Saturday, sovereign, super, natural, state, master, title track, Muhammad Ali, Mumia, Mahatma. The power of a good name is very important. Tucson, Louisville, Noble Jew, Marcus, El Hard, Shabazz, Tupac, and Asada. Jesus Sojourner, Gil Scott, the Reverend Dr. King, Imam Jamil, the Angel Gabriel, Black Dog, the Black Panther Party, Zulu Nation. And what did this young man say his name is? Yasin.
Alright, so check it out. I was finna just close up with this here, but I want to double back and just hit these two words, African American and Afro-American, just so that we cover all the bases, so there's no discrepancies, there's nobody that can say, oh well, I'm not a Negro, I'm not a black, I'm not a person of color, I'm African American. or I'm Afro-American. I'm not those other terms. So we're just going to cover these just so that we get it all the way clear. And then we're going to touch on this one right here. All right. And also, at the time of Black's Law Dictionary, those two terms, African-American and Afro-American, didn't exist. So we're going to be reading from the Oxford American Dictionary. And we are starting on page 27 with African American, and it says a black American. African American is the currently accepted term in the U.S., having first become prominent in the 1980s. See also usage at black. So we know African American is connected to black American. The key being that black, and we know that black is connected to, that's a weird equal sign, but you get what I'm saying. So we see African American is connected to black, which is connected to Negro, which is connected to, got it. So let's flip over to Afro-American. So on the next page, Afro-American is another term for African American. The term Afro-American, first recorded in the 19th century and popular in the 1960s and 70s, has now largely given way to African American as the current accepted term in the U.S. for black Americans. See also usage at black. So, we know Afro-American is just another term for African American, which is still another term for black, which is another term for Negro, which is another term for, got it. So, whether you call yourself African, African American, Afro-American, person of color, people of color, colored person, Negro, or black, it's all connected to Negro, which is connected to being enslaved, especially in the U.S. as it relates to law. Not what we mean personally, not what you think the word means, not what you wish the word meant, not what you feel in your heart, and the cosmos is all made of black and the triple darkness, blah, blah, blah. I ain't talking about all of that. I'm talking about in law, what these words mean in law, legally. Like with your birth certificate, Social Security, job application, loans, any sort of application, any sort of activity, any sort of contract, any sort of involvement of law. When you identify yourself as any of those terms we mentioned, realize that you are identifying yourself as a Negro, which is a slave. It's not my opinion, not how I feel about it, not what I think, what it is in law.
Who are you? You don't know. Don't tell me Negro, that's nothing. What were you before the white man named you a Negro? And where were you? And what did you have? What was yours? What language did you speak then? What was your name? It couldn't have been Smith or Jones or Bunch or Powell. That wasn't your name. They don't have those kind of names where you and I came from. No, what was your name? And why don't you now know what your name was then? Where did it go? Where did you lose it? Who took it? And how did he take it? What tongue did you speak? How did the man take your tongue? Where is your history? How did the man wipe out your history? What did the man do to make you as dumb as you are right now?
Magic, but really I just had to get comfortable. All right, so let's tackle this word here more. Well, before I do, I want to read something to you. Through sin and disobedience, every nation has suffered slavery, due to the fact that they honor not the creed and principles of their forefathers. That is why the nationality of the Moors, us, was taken away from them in 1774, and the words Negro, black, and colored was given to the Asiatics of America who were Moorish descent, because they honored not the principles of their mother and their father, and strayed after the gods of Europe whom they knew nothing of. So, so-called black people, so-called African Americans, are actually Moors. Yes, we are Moors. And because we weren't doing what we were supposed to be doing, we became enslaved, like all the other nations. And when we became enslaved, our true identity and our name and our language and culture was stripped from us, right? We know that part. And these brands, Negro, Black, Colored, African American, Afro-American, etc., were put on us. And they're still on us today. This is how we get treated like slaves, because we are identifying ourselves as such. From us calling ourselves Black or African American or people of color, even to us using the same European slave names that were placed on our ancestors. If we continue to call ourselves slaves and we continue to identify ourselves by a slave name, what choice do we give people other than to treat us as such? How do we expect other people to treat us as something other than what we are saying we are? You tell me. It don't make sense. But you see, it's right here. Not calling ourselves Black, Negro, Colored, or Johnson, Williamson, any sort of European name, but calling ourselves our true identity, Moors, Moorish American to be specific. Now we are distinguishing that no, we are not slaves. No, that's not our lineage. That's not our heritage, is slavery. And it's just some ambiguous history that you never really understand because it doesn't lead back to anywhere. That's the real trick of slavery here in the U.S. It's this perpetual. It keeps on going, keeps on going. It doesn't end as long as you're claiming to be a slave. That's why it's so important for us to say we are Moors. We're Moorish American. And also, that's exactly the reason why you'll hear you'll hear myself say, that Moor does not mean black. See, because what you do when you say that, especially when we ourselves say it, we are now given the okay for them to group this term in with this, which takes us back here. And we ain't trying to be slaves no more. We free. You feel me? And if you were wondering what I was reading from, it is the Holy Quran, Circle 7, brought to us by Noble Drew Ali, a prophet. And you see, this is the real reason why nobody wants to speak on him. Nobody wants to address nationality. Because when you start talking about Noble Drew Ali, you have to get to this. You have to deal with law. And you have to deal with the fact that we're not blacks, we're not Negroes, we're not colored. Because those all denote to slavery. We're not. Our last names are not European names. That's not our name. We got to give that back to Europeans because that ain't us. It's just that simple. And I honestly hope that you seeing this as I read it helped to break it down a little bit more. I hope that with this video you can understand why it's important to identify ourselves properly, why it's important to watch how we identify ourselves as well as how other people identify us, because that's another game too. Yeah, I don't have too much more to say other than we are Moors. We're not Negroes. We're not blacks. We're not colored people. We're not people of color. We're not African Americans. We're not Black Americans. We're Moors. Moorish American to be specific. That is our nationality, just like Nigerian, just like Iranian, just like Syrian, just like Brazilian. We are Moorish American, descendants of Moroccans and born in America. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, you have any things you want to add on to this, send me an email at IAMHH IAMHH Temple at gmail.com. Once again, IAMHH Temple at gmail.com, one word. Or just drop a comment in the comment section below. Yeah, that's it. Most importantly, don't believe what I said. Don't believe none of the stuff I'm saying. Don't believe none of the stuff you see other people saying. Look it up for yourself. Because if you believe what other people say, you will never know. And once you know, you ain't got to believe. That's it. Thank you. Peace. One love to J. Cole, Dreamville. This real, from the heart. I'm talking to you cold, I'm talking to you cold. I know that you was listening, it's coming from the soul. Respect for what you doing, skills already know. It's time to get this work, hand deliver from the O. AKs in our land, metaphorically killing. Proving we vicious in 2016, tell me we getting. Like I'm on this about the media spinning, making heroes of villains. You study Common Johns, my nigga, I know you get it. With great power come hella responsibility. Instead of killing niggas, you could be healing niggas. Lower self, higher self, I know you feeling nigga. I ain't no animal, you ain't gotta be a gorilla nigga. Love the Marshawn, need an angel mode, feel me? Shout out my man Illyville, know it back to the story. Heard false prophets, it was sad. See, I thought you was real, but niggas playing mad. Hard pro is cool, but I'm plugged into this real shit. Please don't tell me that you just too scared to deal with. See all you rappers and revolutionaries, academic politicians, most of y'all is hella scary. Let me focus, Jermaine. Let me focus, Jermaine. Black and white is the game. Drew Ali is the name. See, he was born in the soil that you grew up in. Fuck being clever with syllables, nigga, talk about him. See, he was born in the soil that you grew up in. Fuck being clever with syllables, nigga, talk about him.
See, he was born in the soil that you grew up in. Fuck being clever with syllables.
Piece of nausea, had the coldest of the lines. Love the J-elect, common ghost with the rhymes. Shot the N.O., that's a real nigga slime. But only one brother put it all on the line. Y'all seen, ain't it funny that I'm coming from the bay? It's static, back cover, I ain't coming here to play. Rock Nation, say this humbly, we can't afford to wait. I'm pleading with you, God, don't let us down, Jay, no way. Woo. I'm pleading with you, God, don't let us down, Jay, no way. I said I'm pleading with you, God, don't let us down.